Hello everyone, you're listening to Lipstick and Leather, and on the line with me right now is Janie Lane. How's it going today, Janie?
I'm doing rocking today. I'm having a good day.
Perfect. I've been looking forward to doing this interview for quite some time.
Very cool.
Okay, so we'll start off right now. The song Serial Killer was left off the Saints of the Underground CD, which I thought was an amazing song. Will it be released maybe sometime down the road in some form?
It will definitely be released in some form. I believe that Alice Cooper is going to be doing that on his new record.
Wow, that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, Saints of the Underground were originally on the Immoral Sidewinder label and are now in Warrior Records. Why the change in labels?
Well, basically, I hate to sling mud, but I don't really have a problem in this instance. Sidewinder Immortal just basically stopped paying people. So, obviously we don't want to work for somebody that we're not going to get paid from. So we decided to seek out a different company to work with. And we're very, very happy with Warrior.
Jimmy was recently released. Any plans to release any other Warrant old rarities, like maybe Medicine Man, pop music?
Actually, a few of those songs are going to come out on a DVD that we're putting together. We decided not to slap together a record to tour on because, we've seen other bands do that, and I think it confuses the audience. They think, well, we're going to get Down Boys and Cherry Pie and then 10 songs we've never heard before. And we definitely didn't want to send that message out. We're going out and we're playing all songs off the first 3 Columbia releases, which are obviously the most familiar records to people. And it's just going to be, 90 minutes of hits. And then we'll probably start work on a new record, I would guess, in November and work through the winter on it because I want the time. This particular lineup, the original lineup of Warrant, in my opinion, has never done a bad record. And I don't want to start now. So I told him, let's put a DVD together. We had old, really killer footage from like the Sunset Strip days and Unsigned days and Backstage and Back House and all kinds of crap that we put in there that is really fun to watch. So the DVD will be fun, and it's something to talk about, but it doesn't force me to try to quickly write, a record that I think would be subpar.
Perfect. So the DVD would have like the full versions of the songs, Medicine Man?
Yeah, I believe, I know it has pop music. I think it has Medicine Man.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Any release date maybe?
Well, we're working on that right now. I just got an email from the bass player, Jerry. He's the one who's working on the deal. The company that we're looking to release it on is reviewing the DVD over the weekend.
That's pretty cool. I can't wait to check that out.
Yeah.
Doggy Dog is a fan favorite and personal favorite of mine. Can fans expect to hear lesser-known songs from Doggy Dog on this tour?
Well, I'll just say this. It looks like right now we're going to open the set with Bridges Are Burning.
Wow.
So my answer to you would be yes.
The lyrics to Inside Out were left off Doggy Dog. Is this because the band would perform it with different lyrics live?
Not really. It's because basically we had the track done, and it was a fun, fast metal track that we just did that Michael Wagner really liked when we were doing the record, and I had never written any lyrics to it. So one night after we had finished, the vocals on Quicksand or something, we went out to a German restaurant because he's very German. We went out to a German restaurant and we ate and drank beer and all that kind of stuff. And he said, "Why don't we go back to the studio and you just whip down some lyrics and sing your heart out?" And I said, "Okay." So I went to the studio and I basically wrote them out on a napkin, sang the song, threw the napkin away, and I can't even understand some of the words, but that might have been some of the German beer. I don't know.
I know some of the songs off Ultraphobic were written for Doggy Dog. Any chance that the band will play anything from Ultra or Belly to Belly live?
We have no intention on this tour of playing anything that was recorded without the original lineup. So we're going to stick to material that was strictly done by the original lineup.
Yourself and Ice Cube were rumored to be recording together in 1991. Did anything come of this?
It didn't, but he's a great guy. I met him several times, and super, super fun guy. So, very nice, very eloquent, and a really cool guy to hang around. We spent some time in the studio. nothing came of it. You know, that was sort of a Columbia thing, you know, where let's put him in the studio and maybe we'll get a Run DMC Aerosmith kind of thing out of it, and it never really happened.
Warrant toured with Poison twice. With some of the restrictions Brett put on the band, would you guys be open for a Poison tour again down the road, or you think probably not?
You know, to be honest, I think the restrictions were never anything that were you know, outrageous to us, because it's like, well, you know, if you want us out of the venue after the show, that's not a problem, because we want to leave the venue. So, you know, that was never really a problem. We'd be open to touring to anybody, with anybody, as long as it makes money sense for the band. Obviously, we don't want to lose money touring, and it's got to make sense for the fans. You know, to put us out with, you know, a band that we don't belong on tour with would not work. Poison would work and may work in the future.
Perfect. A lot of bands have been playing their albums in their entirety on their tours. Any chance of maybe doing Dog Eat Dog in its entirety, or any other album?
Funny, I was just thinking about that the other day. I was listening to it in the car because it's such an interesting record. That's just so. Yeah, I was listening to Dog Eat Dog, and I was thinking, wow, this would be an interesting record to play from beginning to end. The only other band I've ever really seen do that is Cheap Trick, and it was a great night because they happened to play a record that I really liked a lot. But you know, it would appeal to such a select group of fans that if that happened, it would have to be a really special thing, like I don't know, maybe you know, I don't even know, maybe a webcast or something like that, where it was strictly Dog Eat Dog from beginning to end. But I really like that album. I always have.
As do I, for sure. Any news on what former Warrant drummer Kevin Ferris is up to these days?
You know what? I have no idea. To be honest, I have no idea. I stay in contact with a lot of friends in Akron, Ohio. From what I had heard, he had moved down to Florida to live with relatives, and was going to continue his career from there. And that's about the last I've heard.
Warren played the Left 4 Dead song "The Turtle" live on the Belly to Belly tour. Has the band recorded a studio version of the song?
No, we never recorded a studio version. But that was because those are really good friends of ours, Left 4 Dead. Eddie Gowan has been a friend of mine forever, and Bobby Borg, as you know, played drums for Warrant for quite a while. So, and Bobby was involved in the writing of that song. So, you know, it was kind of like throwing Bobby a bone. It was like, all right, we'll play one of your songs. That's cool. We like the Turtle. So.
No doubt you could write an amazing book. Any plans for this down the road?
Well, when I have an ending. I mean, yeah, I definitely have a book in me. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I have a lot of personal stuff. For one thing, you know, probably best to wait until my kids are of age, you know, because if I'm going to write a book, it's going to be a pretty serious, you know, no holds barred, you know, pretty graphic. So, yeah, I do have a book in me. It probably will happen down the road, but not for a little bit.
Okay. You recorded Ode to Tipper Gore. What are your thoughts on censorship to this day?
Well, censorship is almost a non-issue with the internet now. I mean, at the time, you know, with the record labels, you only had X amount of outlets for your music, you know, which were MTV, terrestrial radio, you know, and people going to the store and buying your record. So, and to be honest with you, you know, in hindsight, the censorship stickers that Tipper, you know, so championed the cause of were actually magnets for record purchases. I mean, kids would literally walk into the store and only buy records that had, you know, warning, explicit lyrics, you know, on it. So, in the end, she, you know, in a roundabout way, did us a lot of good. And I did send a limo for her when we played Washington, D.C., but she didn't come.
Yeah, I agree for sure. Even though they had stickers and you had to be 18, people could still get the albums easily.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
When Warrant toured with Motley Crue in 1990, Motley Crue were clean and sober while Warrant were partying. Any good stories from that tour, and how did it go?
In 1990?
Or in 89?
In 89, yeah. Well, it was 89 to 90. You're right. It was pretty much a non-event. We were a baby band at the time, and Motley was pretty well established when we were out on tour with them. So, they were leaving the gigs in a jet, and we were climbing on our rickety old tour bus, and slow poking it to the next town. So there wasn't a lot of time spent with them, but no, it was cool. It was a great experience. It was our our first real big arena tour, and I think we took full advantage of it. I think we went out and we kicked it every night.
You sang background vocals on Crumb's Second Minutes Hours album. How did this come about?
That was through Warrant's producer on the first two records, Beau Hill. He was working with the band, and he called me up. They were working at a place called Rumbo Recorders here in town, and he called me up and he said, "They need someone who can sing high, and I was wondering if you were doing anything today." I said, "No, man, I'll come in and do it." So, yeah, I had fun. It was a fun day.
Right on. The song Saltwater you described as one of the best songs you've ever written. Do you plan to release this as a solo album or maybe on Jabberwocky down the road?
I definitely intend to probably save that for myself. I don't see that being a Warrant-type song. I actually co-wrote that song with Keaton Rogers, who is the grandson of Kenny Rogers.
Wow.
And I think it's an excellent song, but it's a song that I'll probably hold off for either the right artist who would like to do that song, and I think that there are some artists out there who could do it justice, or myself on a solo record. But I don't foresee that being a Warrant song.
Okay, perfect. Just a couple more questions. Whatever happened to the After Work special you filmed to be aired on VH1 in 2005?
I don't know. You tell me. That was pretty strange acting. I had to act to an animated character that wasn't there. But it was interesting. I know I did it. I know Tiffany did it. I know a few other artists did it. But I never heard another word about it.
Any more acting down the horizon?
You know what? If the opportunity presents itself, I'm always open to anything. I mean, if somebody wants me to do a cameo in something, I'll do a cameo. As far as me, playing the lead in a major motion picture, I don't foresee that in my future. But I'm always open for cameos. I much more prefer to get involved in the musical aspect of movies, but I'm not afraid to get in front of the camera.
Any appearances by Mitch Dynamite in the near future?
Well, there was on Saints of the Underground.
That's right.
Yeah, the song All in How You Wear It, I played drums on. And that by no means is a cut to Bobby Blotzer, because he's a fantastic drummer. He was just out of town and unavailable to fly in and cut the drums for it. So I said, "I'll do it," and he said, "Fine, dude, just go ahead and do it."
So who decided to record two 24/7 songs for the album? Was it Bobby who brought them in, or that you decided to?
To what?
To record the two 24/7 songs?
What songs are those?
The songs from the band that Carrie Kelly played with. Dead Man's Shoes was one of them, and I'm forgetting the other one off the top of my head.
Oh, yeah. Good Times and Dead Man's Shoes.
Yes, that's it.
That was Blotzer's idea, and what he did is he took the demos and he handed them to me, and he said, "See what you can do with them." And I said, "Okay," and Carrie lives quite a drive for me. He lives down in Mission Viejo, so it's about 2 hours by car. But I would make the trip, twice a week and go down there and work with them on them. And, those two songs in particular were like, hey, this is pretty cool. So we thought they'd be good ideas for the record.
I agree for sure. It's an awesome album.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time with me, Jamie. I really, really, really appreciate it.
Not a problem.
And I'm going to be at the Walker Show front row, so I'm pretty pumped for that.
Cool.
We're driving all the way down from Thunder Bay, Ontario, where I'm at, so it'll be a cool...
Very cool. Yeah, I've heard from quite a few Canadians that are going to make the trip, so I'm excited about that, because it doesn't look like we'll be hitting Canada until probably October, November.
Okay. Yeah, I was shocked there wasn't even a Toronto date for the Cinderella shows.
We tried. We had a 3-show Canadian run set up, Edmonton, Calgary, and Toronto, I think, and I don't know exactly what happened that fell through, but unfortunately, it's been put off.
Okay. Well, I'll be there in 2 weeks, so I can't wait for that.
Okay.